You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a guest in the building today. Goes by the name of Martin Shkreli. Did I say that right?
Yes, I gave him Donkey of the Day last week.
Right.
This is the guy who went at Ghostface, who jacked up the prices on the HIV/AIDS pills.
He had the goons in the background.
Yes, he came in here and tried to shake my hand. I said, nope, I can't shake your hand. I need to know what you're all about first.
All right.
So first question, are you a privileged, entitled prick?
No, come on, man.
Break it down for me.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I was born in Brooklyn, privileged. No, my parents are janitors, dude.
I read.
My parents, to this day, my mom still does that. She's making $50,000. This is not a privileged family. I grew up in the streets, shared a room with my brother. You're talking about 2-bedroom, 4 kids.
Okay.
I grew up the same way everyone in Brooklyn grows up. We moved to Brooklyn, the most affordable place we could find, the most rent-controlled place we could find. Roaches and rats. I think that phrase comes from a certain rap music artist that you may be familiar with.
The God Ghostface Killer.
Know what I mean? Maybe. I was actually thinking of Jay, but whatever.
Ghostface said that too, though.
Okay.
Yeah, and all that I got is you.
Oh, okay.
So you grew up from the hood. You're from Brooklyn. You're from the hood.
Yeah, I think so, man.
So how did you become this?
How'd you become so douchey?
How did you become so rich?
I think that the media can portray people the way they want, and look, I'll give it back too. You got a lot of people here, to prepare for this. I watched you interview Kanye, man. He can act like that too.
Kanye
this.
could definitely act like a privileged, entitled prick. Yeah. Yes.
So it's part of the persona, the mystique sometimes. I'm a confident individual. But after all that's happened, I do want to set some of the records straight. I'm not certainly not privileged, man. I've struggled, fought. I went to City College. I earned my way to the top, and I think I should earn a little bit of respect for that.
All right, well, let's talk about this Wu-Tang album you bought, because that was.
Did you bring it?
First we heard it.
I'll bring it next time. I'll even play a track for you if you want.
So you paid $2 million for this album.
I did.
And you have no
fan?
plans to play it. Or
Well,
what's the plan? What made you say I'm gonna buy this album for $2 million? And it seems like you were upset that RZA wasn't talking about it. The guys weren't discussing it.
Well, I'll break it down from the beginning because this.
You gotta put your lips on the mic, Martin.
Yeah, I'll break it down from the beginning because this is the #1 place for hip hop. So I might as well, if I'm gonna break it down extensively, I might as well do that here. Is that all right?
Yes,
Absolutely.
please.
All right. So there's a lot of details, obviously, right? So obviously, when the first news of the announcement came out, clearly, I was interested. I think every rich rap guy interested in rap was interested.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I can even take it back a step further to talk about why I care about the Wu-Tang in the damn first place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up in New York. I was a rock kid growing up. I'm not a liar. There's nothing. I'll never tell a lie in my life. And I told RZA to his face, as I said, I'm not your biggest fan. You got to understand that from the jump. I'm not your biggest fan. I can't name every track on every affiliated Wu album. That's not me. Let me be clear about that. But I remember, again, being kind of a troublemaker kid, and I listened to rock music. This is back when we had cassettes.
Mm-hmm.
And I had summer school one year because I was a big derelict troublemaker, kid. And me and this kid from the Bronx named Josh Martinez, we shared summer school classes together like every year because we were just always, being jerks in high school. We went to this rich kid high school.
What school?
Hunter High School on the Upper East Side.
Okay.
And, we were like the two kids who didn't belong from the hood. And Josh was always listening to Wu-Tang during summer school, and I would always listen to like Nirvana or something like that. And he'd be like, let me hear some of that. And I'd say, all right, let me hear some of yours. And we dug it.
I'm sure you might. I'll show you mine.
Yeah, exactly. Basically.
Go ahead.
Basically. And he's like, I don't really get it, and I was like, yeah, I don't really get yours, but I felt it a little bit. And then, I got back into rap, and one of the big reasons I got back into rap was actually the Chappelle Show. I was getting into rap way before that, like a couple years before that, but when they had the Wu-Tang financial skit on the Chappelle Show.
Classic.
That was a classic, and it really, quite frankly, I think it did a lot for Wu-Tang, it did a lot for rap, it did a lot for a new audience, because we looked at it and we were like, this is kind of, it's truth is stranger than fiction.
Is that what made you want to get in the financial game?
No.
Okay.
But I was already in it.
You got to diversify your bond.
Yeah, and when we saw that, we were like, this is truth is stranger than fiction. This is actually how a lot of us talk and act in finance. The real stuff. We're hedge funds, we're at the top of the finance business, and we talk and act like this. We want to be like this. And we saw that skit. We were like, holy, this is this is kind of cool. And so I got more and more to rap. When the album came out, I said, I gotta own this. There's a lot of things rich dudes buy to just prove that, you know, again, I don't know what
For
words.
tax purposes?
No.
Okay.
To
Just
show
because
off.
they're rich.
To show off, exactly.
Whose penis is bigger?
That's exactly
And
what I'm
you know
trying
it'd
to
be
say.
a
I don't
big-
know what words I can say here or not
You
say
can say
here.
whatever you want.
Oh,
It would
speak
be a
freely.
big press thing for you to buy this album that they were auctioning off.
that's a
and was
part of
huge
it,
deal.
but it's also to show your friends, it's your last companies or whatever. It's like, hey, you, look at me. I got this $2 million album. What you think about that? You know, guys do that all the time. I
So
mean,
if you
Do they?
respect Wu-Tang, why disrespect Ghostface the way you did in that video? Because
That's
you
a
know,
separate subject.
I was at Bridget Capital yesterday, which is a great hedge fund
Of
place.
course it is.
I didn't see nobody in there with mask on, a bunch of goons talking crazy the way you was talking.
Bridger, yeah, I wonder what you're doing there. Anyway, really?
Yes, I was, sir. I know people too.
Damn.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. That's some Illuminati shit right there.
Don't worry about me.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna buy me a $2 million album one day.
You totally changed blew up my
He
brain
was
right
cleaning
now.
the
Perception of
toilets. He
him?
was just cleaning the
No, I
toilets.
wasn't actually. But
Good.
I'm gonna sit. Got to take a different attitude now. But no, in all seriousness, look, you know, I have a tremendous amount of respect for the whole clan, you know, including Ghost. But we're talking musically, right? That's music. There's a difference between music and real life and personas.
you said you own him. You said he's like your
I don't
son.
recall saying that.
It
I
sounded
did say
very
son.
Slave master, slavish.
All right, that let me just end that right there.
Yeah.
You know, that's not the intent. You know, son is a word that, you know, we use all the time.
Yeah.
Right? And it's meant to show disrespect. Like you're as if you were my son.
So you were disrespecting him.
Of course.
Why though?
He disrespected me.
How did he disrespect you?
Oh, he called me a shithead, I believe, on
Well, hold on now. And his defense,
I
a lot of
I
people were
recall.
saying a lot of people were saying that because of the HIV
Yes,
drugs
yes,
situation.
yes.
Which will
But-
give you a chance to clean up.
I'll clean that up. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it definitely felt like, look, the guy was taking shots at me. In the hip-hop game, as we all know, it's not easy to be on the receiving end of those things without jumping back and
But you're not hip hop. You're
whatever.
a
It doesn't matter,
financial
man.
guy.
It doesn't matter.
Like-
You can look, even in finance, you take shots. It's not even a hip-hop thing. It's a man thing. You take shots at me, I'm going to come back at you, especially publicly. Especially publicly. And that's just basic bravado and the basic, you know, manhood. You know, I'm not going to let him steal on me for what?
I feel like you want to be famous, which is crazy to me because you're worth $45 million.
A lot more than that, but anyway. Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Now tell us about the drug. What happened with the drug? Now they said that the pill was what?
$13. You jacked it up to
$13.50,
$7.50.
and you jacked it up to $7.50.
Yeah,
Now
that's
explain that a little bit
It
because
was
people
18,
are pissed off about it.
It was 18 with 750, same difference. Look, you know, the number one thing I'd say is in law, there's a lot of people don't understand this. It's kind of interesting. In law, you can be prosecuted for not maximizing profits. In fact, I know people who have. And you have to do everything in your power to make as much money as possible in the system we've got. That's business. You can't hold back. You know, you can't go halfway. And if we did the analysis, we said we can go to 750. So
From $13?
And nothing's changed. You know, people will pay the 750, not people, insurance companies, et cetera. No one's got to actually, you know, throw the bills down.
But if the insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies have to pay more for it, don't they have to charge regular people more?
Absolutely.
So why would you want that?
I don't want that. This is one of the smallest drugs around. This is not Lipitor. This is not something everyone's taking. This is a few thousand people take this medicine. It's very rarely used. So in the scheme of things, this is 0.0001% of the drug business. You know, if Ghost tried to charge, you know, $750 for his next record, just as few people would buy it next time around. But you know, it wouldn't change the music business as a whole because there's other records out there.
But somebody has to be buying this drug.
Yeah.
And usually,
So for the people that are buying it, even if it is a small few, why jack up the price on it?
There's drugs 3 times this price, 10 times this price. This is not like an insane price. If people if you know the drug business, you know that this is not that expensive. You know, this is like in the higher end range, but in the higher end range. There's drugs that are $2 million a year.
but you
know,
did say if somebody can't afford it, you would give it to them for free.
Absolutely, man. I'm not gonna let someone die. I mean, I'm
But
not
how
an
am I
animal.
in touch with you?
We have a system, man. It's if you don't have insurance, you get it for free right off the bat.
How?
Right off the bat, it's
What's
done.
the system? How do I get in touch with you?
65% of our
I'm
drugs.
Charlie Sheen. I need the drug. How do I get in touch with
I don't
you?
think
Charlie
Charlie
Sheen
Sheen
has
needs a drug
insurance.
for
He
free.
has no
Yeah. So your doctor prescribes it.
Okay.
You got to talk to your doctor first, right? Your doctor says, all right, you need this drug. Writes a prescription. Prescription gets sent to our pharmacy. Our pharmacy says, hey, where's the insurance? You say, I don't have any. So, all right, fill out this form, and you get the drug. 2/3 of the drug we sell for free. For free. You know, people don't know that. People don't want to know that. Again, a lot of times, you know, and you've seen this, I'm sure, in hip-hop, a lot of times people want an enemy. They're going to get an enemy one way or the other, and you can say whatever you want, but it's people who want the enemy, you know, and if I'm the enemy for you, good, I'm happy, man. I'm fulfilling some need in your life. Great.
So what is it that you got arrested for? Was it?
So totally other subject. It's an indictment.
Yeah, out on bail, fresh out of jail right now.
Yeah.
Your rap song.
It's been about a month. Yeah, exactly. No, it's parallels are there.
Now, what were you arrested for?
According to the government, securities fraud. You know, dispute the allegations. Just picked up a lawyer, Ben Braffman, who represented Diddy, Jay, 50. Also represented some non-rappers. Probably the best lawyer in the world. And I'm confident I'll beat the charges.
What exactly is security fraud?
Well, you know, I can't get into too many details.
Credit card scams?
No.
He's not a credit card
You're the reason
scammer.
Rush Card shut down.
Yes, all my fault. I admit it on the air. No, obviously, I don't even know what that is. But the
That's Russell Simmons' credit card. That's what.
No, I know what it is. I just don't want some DA listening.
Okay.
Let's do it.
You were worried about the DA listening, but you was on a video last week on World Star with a bunch of goons in masks threatening someone. Like, come on, buddy. You know that people get arrested for that all the time in hip hop.
No, I do. You know, look, like I said, you know, I have a reputation of finance as well. You don't say shit about me and not expect it back, some repercussions. And I'm not about to change who I am, ever. You know, and I'm authentic. You know, every lawyer in the world's like, Martin, this is the stupidest idea on the face of the earth. You going on a camera and insulting a rap guy. Like, are you out of your mind? And I'm like, look, at the end of the day, I'm me. You're going to have to deal with it. And they're like, all right, we could deal with it.
And then when you was on TMZ, you was acting like more of a douche. You wouldn't answer no questions. Like, why even do the interview if you was...
I'd be happy to answer questions. Look, I mean, people start off with me being a douche. I could be a very happy, normal dude. But, like, the guy asked me right off the bat, he's like, is this a good idea, you know, for you to be insulting? I'm like, all right, what are you going to give me advice?
But you just said your lawyer said it was the dumbest idea ever. So if Harvey, who is a lawyer, because you asked him, you said, Harvey,
he's
are
not
you an attorney?
a criminal lawyer, is he?
Yeah,
He hasn't been in a
attorney.
courtroom, has he? Like, this is like, bro, like, don't, you know, I can self-deprecate myself, but don't come at me. You know, it's like, I'm not an idiot. Clearly there's some satire in this video. You know, it's meant to be a mix of satire and a mix of reality. And
You did your own sketch.
So you're not really having goons that you don't really.
I have goons for real,
said, "I have
but
goons
you know,
for
let's
real."
be, you know, one of them,
You brought your goons up
couple
here with
of
you
couple
today?
of them may be here, but
They should be here then.
or outside.
Now, what about Bobby Shmurda? Were you really trying to bail out Bobby Shmurda?
I would have loved to, and I was in conversations with his attorney a day before I got arrested.
So now you can't do it.
You know, I got plenty of my own business to deal with, and as far as I know, his trial is coming up soon enough. So
Right.
unfortunately for Bobby, I mean, again, we're talking about injustice in the criminal justice system. This poor guy, I was bailed out, literally spent 3 hours in jail. 3 hours, maybe 4.
You went to the
And-
Tombs? You went downtown and everything?
I went downtown. Yes. And, the Tombs, yes, in Brooklyn. And they got me my own cell. They got me, like, it was like
Oh, that doesn't happen to everybody.
white glove treatment, roll
yeah.
out the red
White
carpet.
privilege, basically.
You know, I don't know.
Or
if
rich
it's-
privilege. Which one?
Whatever it
privilege,
is,
rich privilege.
but whatever it is. But I heard the guys in the cell next door talking GS9. They're like, you know, talking about stabbings and shootings. I'm sitting there like, yo, I want to be in that cell. But you know, they're like, no, we're gonna keep this guy separate. And I was out in 3 hours.
Now, what's your relationship with Donald Trump?
I don't like the dude, but no, I just want to finish that point on the jail real quick. So, because I think it's really insane. 3 hours, I'm in and out. This cat's been in jail a year. Jail is supposed to be a temporary spot that you go in and out of while your lawyer gets your ass out of there. You put up some money, something. You don't have to put up much money. One of the amendments of the Constitution, I think it's the 8th Amendment, says the government will not impose unreasonable bail. And what they're doing to Bobby is ridiculously unconstitutional. And it's disgusting. And as I've seen it, and I'm an opportunist, I said, look, I can take this guy out of jail. I've got the money. I've got the lawyer, and every lawyer in the country, in New York especially, and you know, I get him out of jail tomorrow. I'll put up the 2. He'll wear a bracelet for me or something.
So why don't you?
It's too late now.
I would love for you to do that, but why? Like, what's the reasoning?
2 reasons. It's unfair. It's bull. The guy shouldn't be in jail. Again, prison is one thing. You get convicted, you do the time, right? The jury decided, looked at the evidence, and said, you're guilty, you're guilty. You got to do the time. You got to man up. Just do it. But this man is innocent until proven guilty.
That's a fact.
Basic concept.
Right.
To incarcerate him before the guy's actually convicted and to deny his bail 7 times?
But it's a lot of people in that situation. Why Bobby Smurda? Because you know it'll bring you attention?
Well, I heard about it.
Okay.
I don't know anyone else in that situation. My boy, some of my boys in that video, for instance, were in that situation. I could throw down for them immediately, And I don't know Bobby, but, everyone knows the song, his music. And
what's the name of it?
Hot
what?
Hot Boy, I believe.
Hot Boy.
Correct
really,
name.
Boy?
I believe that's what Billboard.
Yeah, that's what Billboard has.
Yeah, that's right. That's the name of the song.
Could you potentially lose your fortune now with all of the investigations going on?
Never.
You got money over in Switzerland hidden and stuff like that?
No, never. I would never do something like that, man.
Well, why do you want to be famous? Like I always say, if I had that much money, I wouldn't want nobody to know who I am.
The problem is it just happens one way, whether you like it or not.
Not really. I would have never heard of you if you didn't try to buy the Wu-Tang album, if you didn't jack up the prices for HIV.
I still wanted to buy it. So how do you buy it and be anonymous? It's not easy.
I mean, for Wu-Tang, it's good press for them because they've done something no one's done before. Sold their album as a piece of artwork.
Yes, that's
for
right.
$2 million.
But you haven't even heard it yet.
It's a new thing. Well, no one's heard it.
I heard a little bit.
I heard a
little bit.
Before you bought it.
No, I would debut it right on here. I love hip hop. I love. At this point, hip hop has vastly surpassed rock. The state of rock,
without question, it's not even close.
Rock's in the toilet, and there's not one rock artist I'm excited about. There's like 20, 30 hip. I had Fetty Wap come do my Christmas party.
How much you pay him?
Yes, leave that one alone. A good amount, and he was great. The guy killed it.
Well, if you love hip hop, you'd never disrespect Ghostface Killer. I understand you feel like he came at you.
It was a tough decision. I'll be clear. It was a tough decision, but.
Because it actually will make hip hop people look at you crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, how dare he talk about you bought this?
Who is this Yakub's child?
This is Ghostface.
Talking
He's an
crazy
icon
to the god
in hip-hop,
Ghostface.
part of Wu-Tang Clan, one of the greatest groups of all time.
He's one of the greatest rappers ever, but he's still a man. He still bleeds the same blood as me, and is both red. And you want to talk? I'm not the one.
Do you think you have Michael Jackson's nose?
No, I got a beautiful nose. He should be one to talk. If he were here right now, I'd smack him right in the face.
No, you wouldn't.
All
Don't
right.
say that.
Absolutely.
Bring
another room.
You would not smack Ghostface.
Absolutely.
Would you buy his album?
Absolutely. I have all his albums. I got 36 seasons. I got everything.
36 Chambers. The hell is wrong with you?
Seasons.
Oh yeah. That came out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You said seasons. That's a Ghostface solo album.
Now back
No,
to,
he's
Donald,
right.
back
He's
to
right.
Donald Trump. Now he called you a young brat.
No,
Spoiled
back to
That
that.
was-
You will not smack Ghostface Killer.
If you say so, I'll do you that honor.
I'm just saying, Ghostface
Yeah.
got a lot of people that love
He
him.
smack fire out
and
you.
I know you're saying that, but you walk outside.
And
The streets
And
are still
Ghost
the
can fight.
streets.
Ghost
Anybody
can
can
I don't
get
think
it,
you want
Martin.
those problems. You would smack ghosts.
Martin,
Yes.
anybody can get it, Martin.
I know this.
And we're in the midst of this
You
whole
think
Black
they're-
Lives
you think-
Matter thing. Racial tension is at all time high. They'd love to chase you back to
don't
the
make
Caucasus Mountains.
don't make it a race thing. At the end of the day, there's people in my family who've been shot and killed.
Did you shoot him and kill him?
No.
If not, it doesn't matter. What
So
are
wait, if
talking
you
about?
smack ghosts and
All I'm
he
saying
beats
is
you
that
up, would
you're-
that be justified on his part, though?
You can try, man.
Would you call the
Bring it
police on him if he beat you up?
What's that?
Would you call the police on Ghost
Hell
if he
no.
beat you up?
Hell no.
Say that on camera again.
I would never call the police. It's open season. Come at me. It don't matter.
Papa Wu. Remember
don't
what you did
matter.
to Action Bronson?
It don't matter.
Do it to
man.
Martin
Open
Shkreli in here
season.
talking crazy.
Open season. And in fact, I think there's a saying y'all familiar with. It's called "I wish you would."
You entitled, privileged prick. Who are
You're going back to this.
now I
I'm
get-
telling you, I'm from the streets. You know what? 2009. How much money do you think I had in my bank account? That was 6 years ago.
A couple million.
$100.
Really? Can I borrow $100?
Nope. You were
Didn't
at
work.
the Illuminati meeting yesterday. F that. Yeah, I'm gonna borrow money from you.
Before you got here, you said he was going to ask you for $100,000 and see what happens.
Yeah. You got plenty of your own connections.
I just don't want you to get beat up, man. I mean, I do, but I don't.
It is what it is.
Because
You
you're kind of
know,
causing it on yourself.
Have you gotten beaten up?
never in my life. I fought many times.
So you can fight.
I've been jumped. I mean, it is what it is. Most people in fights, most people when they fight, they don't want to you know how it is. No one wants to kill another man.
Really? What world are you from?
I've been in many fights in Brooklyn. Like it's not about like you knock a guy out. You don't keep wailing on him. You're just like, all right.
No.
Now you know.
New era, Martin. New era, different type culture. Yes.
Right.
Now, let me go to Donald Trump. Now he called you a spoiled brat.
Kim. It's the bullshit.
Kind of agree with him though.
He inherited what, $1 million, $100 million? Nobody knows, right?
Right.
And in fact, if you look at the numbers, he actually should be way richer than he is. He's been fucking up actually. He hasn't made as much money as he could have. In fact, all you had to do to be Trump is inherit that money and put it away and just put it in your boys, and you'd be fine. The fund he mentioned, he'd be the richest man in the world. So in fact, he hasn't been a good businessman. He talks way too much. We all know that. And at the end of the day, who's a spoiled brat? I'm sorry, where I come from, that means like, entitled, privileged, etc. No, my first job, I had two choices. I was gonna work at Carvel Ice Cream, putting ice cream down for customers, or I worked at a hedge fund. I was lucky enough to get a job at a hedge fund, but I didn't even have suits to wear to the hedge fund. I didn't know how to dress. Like, it was ridiculous. I wore white socks with the dress shoes.
Money can change people. I mean, you clearly don't sound like that same humble person that you were.
And how did you?
I wasn't humble back then.
How did you end up going to Hunter if your family didn't have money?
It's a school for the intellectually gifted. It tends to have a lot of wealthy Manhattan students, but it's got poor students as well.
Now, it's a rumor that you didn't really graduate from Hunter.
That's true. It's not a rumor. It's fact.
You didn't graduate?
It's fact. Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's fact.
What happened?
I left early. I finished high school early. School was never for me, as I mentioned. I was always getting in trouble. Always, I was a very gifted kid, as they said to me, an intellectually gifted kid. And school for me it lost interest. The academic race of being number one in school, it had no point to me. I was in a rock band. I was just learning more and more about girls, and more interested in girls than I was in school. And everyone else was interested in knowing the 7th level of calculus. It's like, look, I can stop at the first level, second level. Like, I don't need to keep doing this. No point.
Right.
And I felt smart enough, so I went to the working world when I was 17. Worked out very well for me, and I didn't need to finish school. And I went to City College. I could have gone Ivy League school.
You went to Baruch, right?
Yeah.
So you had $100 in 2009. How'd you get your first million?
I started a drug company called Retrophin. It was the fastest growing drug company probably ever.
How did that happen? How do you
start a drug company?
It's really fucking hard because it's easy to start an internet company. You go online, you could do it. You program a little bit, etc. Starting a drug company is close to impossible because you need hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right. So how did you do it?
Go to investors like your boys. I mean, I'm still stunned because
why? Because I'm black?
No, that is the most elite of the elite.
Because my hoodie says by nature.
You just
because I got a Wu-Tang hat on. Why couldn't I be in Bridger Capital?
Because it's one of the most elite and secret places there is.
That is a fact.
And it's not about white or black, my dude. It's nobody knows what that is.
And so shouldn't you be talking about it?
No. And if you know what that is,
he'll die tomorrow.
First time, last time.
If you know what that is, it's like, whoa. That's when.
Not only was I talking about it, I posted it on the gram. I was Snapchatting from there.
It's a different level. It's like that's like the highest of the highest level. Like that's, don't speak of it. And, that's cool. But it's great, and I have different perspective, and it doesn't matter, But no, am I a little surprised? A radio guy? Yeah, I'm a little surprised.
Okay. You do know Howard Stern made $84 million.
There's rich radio guys. I'm not saying there aren't, but I'm just saying, that's a special place, and it's a very, very elite, secret, super secret.
But you're trying to distract from how you made your first $1 million.
Yeah, no, I started a drug company.
He started his own pharmaceutical company.
That's
investors? The company now that you actually, with the securities for a charges, got arrested.
There's a little bit involvement there, correct?
Are you scared to go to jail?
No, I'm not scared of anything in life.
There's a lot of Wu-Tang fans in jail. You heard about what happened to Kanye West, right?
No.
They put a finger up his. You know what they're going to do to you in jail?
You talking about Amber Rose?
Yeah.
She can do that right?
When you that's in jail.
That's in plain daylight. Andre Rose.
You're a real rich guy. So what's the craziest thing that you've done? Because we all seen Wolf of Wall Street. What's the craziest thing that you bought and the craziest thing that you've done?
Dude, I'm a regular guy.
No, you're not. You bought an album for $2 million.
But I did that to show that I care about art, and that today there's all this wealth, right? There's all this crazy wealth. Kanye was here. All he could talk about was billionaires. And I felt the same way you did. Like, why are you all about the money? Dude?
Yeah.
And instead of spending like $2 million, that was a waste of money. right?
Well,
Like,
I wouldn't say wasting money if you're a Wu-Tang fan.
Is it an investment? Is something that you
it's
think
not
would be worth more later?
I'm gonna lose money on this. I knew that going into it. The point is, I wanted to show respect for art, and that's something that people are less and less, I think, maybe in some ways, not doing these days. And for me, it was to send a message to the world that, like, look, you can think about all these material things in life, but at the end of the day, music is arguably, and that's why you're so popular. I was just out with Maria Bartiromo. I'm just in there like, my big deal today was with you. It's not with her. Compared to, her viewership's 1/10 of yours.
Stop riding, man.
And look,
You guys stupid, man.
talking reckless. At the end of the day,
That's hip hop, though. You riding right now. If you want to be in hip hop right now, stop riding,
talking
man. Okay.
reckless like crazy. But anyway, look, I love music. I want to send a message. No other rich guy was willing to do this, but why? You guys love music too. Where are you at? And I said, I'll show you how much I love music. Music means more to me than anything. And so buying that album is the most ridiculous thing I've done. But other than that, man, I'm a normal guy. Like, I webcast, as you may know. I webcast my day.
Right.
I sit there and eat a bagel. Last night I ate rice-a-roni. I'm not eating there. I'm not having a waiter put the lobster on. Like, I'm a normal dude. The money's stacking up. That's great. I hope it keeps stacking up. But
Were you upset that you didn't get the response you thought you would get from the guys from the Wu-Tang?
This is exactly what I wanted. This is playing into my hand. And what happens next, you'll see.
So basically, this is just stunting. This is
No.
white people stunting. That's what it was. It's white people stunting.
We buy jewelry.
We buy jewelry. You
buy
bought a $2
albums.
million Wu-Tang.
Basically. There you go.
No, I'm thinking about getting. I have a Jacob. I've got.
You got a what? Jacob what?
I bought Big Mike's, Killer Mike's Jacob.
Jacob watch?
Yeah,
Killer Mike wears a Jacob watch?
I bought his.
Not anymore.
That's one of my favorite things of all time.
I snatched his watch.
Let me ask you a question. What are you doing for the Black Lives Matter movement?
Well, as I mentioned to your to your colleague Revolt, there's one man in my life that there's a few black men that matter in my life more than you can imagine. One is a guy in D.C. who's my mentor. He's very close to the president and has shepherded me through a lot of business success. And another man is a man who passed away, who I never met, never had the ability to meet. His name Percy Julian. Percy was a name nobody knows. He is the most important, arguably I would say one of the most important men in pharmaceutical history. And pharma guys don't know who he is. I won't expect anyone else to know what he is. But Percy started a drug company in the 50s, and as a black guy, it's practically impossible. But the guy was so good at chemistry, and this is a PhD chemist, nerdiest guy you can imagine. No one would respect him. No one would let him make money, and he could synthesize steroids synthetically. You had to make them semi-synthetically. It was just very difficult. So he invented a new so-called synthesis route where you can make steroids cheaply and mass produce them. And today, everyone in this room has taken a steroid at some point in their life, prednisone or something like that for pretty much whatever ails you. And thanks to Percy, the world changed. But more importantly, the picture I'll never forget is Percy standing up, photo of his company he just started. And he left the drug company. He was a grunt chemist, and he's like, I'm going to start my own drug company. So he did it, and he built his drug company, and that company he left ended up buying it back for $20 million, which today, that was 50, 60 years ago. And the picture I'll never forget in my life, I was actually crying when I watched this interview because it's a PBS documentary, and it's called The Forgotten Genius, the story of Percy Julian. And it was a photo of him standing up, a photo of his company. I've got one of these photos. It's pretty much the United Nations at my company, but at this company, it was him in a lab coat, black guy, and like 30, 40, 50 white people behind him. And it just brought a tear to my eye because this whole documentary talked about how this guy struggled and fought and went against all the pain and hate that people had for him, and he just focused on his chemistry, and he changed the world, not just one time, but 5 times. No one even knows who this guy is.
So you got black friends, but what are you doing for the Black Lives Matter movement?
The movement itself, at the moment, as you know, I'm involved in a lot of stuff, and I got to figure that out. So, like, at the end of the day, like, I would love to do some stuff for Flint. I would love to do some stuff for everything, but as you can imagine, after you're arrested, your life changes.
So are your assets frozen right now?
No. But at the end of the day, it's still, it's crazy.
But you have resources. If you spend $2 million on an album, you can spend money.
Will you tell me what you think I should do?
I think you should donate some money to like the activists, like the D-Rays of the world, the Nettas, because they go around traveling, and a lot of times they just need funding just to keep going. You know what I'm saying?
I'm interested in doing that. At the end of the day, right now, there's ODB used to say this. I'm all about me right now, and when people come and try to troll me, I just say that, and at the end of the day, sometimes you got to focus on yourself. And for now, I'm in so much that I gotta do that. And obviously, but the movement spoke to me. I just, my world has been so crazy that I can't.
I mean, you can always just write a 6-figure check to See the God World LLC, and I'll donate.
I was about to do it.
I'll donate the funds
until you laugh. You f***ed it up, Envy.
Well, we appreciate you joining us.
My pleasure.
I still don't know how I feel about you. You still have a very douchey air about you.
All right.
But I like the fact you came from nothing and made something happen, especially that you only had $100 back in 2000.
You said your mom is still a janitor to this day.
Yeah, you said that. You have enough money where
you still got
your
your mom being a janitor? Oh, she won't. Okay, I get it.
I beg her every day. She doesn't understand the money in markets and things like this. I'm gonna work for you guys, and that's it. It's a great mom.
All right.
And Ghostface is gonna smack the shit out you.
We'll see, man. Bring it. I wish he would.
All right. Wish he would.
The leader of the Douche Tang clan, the Dizza, ladies and gentlemen, Martin Shkreli. Chappelle. Martin what?
Yeah.
Shkreli.
Yes.
It's the Breakfast Club.
Charlotte Magny.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in